Have you been a bully? Maybe, just maybe, I might have. I suspect that we may have all been bullies at some moment in time. You don't think it's you. A bully is someone else. You may be unaware, but truthfully, and I feel some real shame about this, I've called the phone company fully intending to give them a piece of my mind. Absolutely off my head angry about the lack of service, massive mistakes on the billings, them not doing what they said they would. I just felt that it was my opportunity to get what was bugging me off my chest. And maybe, just maybe, I was getting more off my chest than the phone company was responsible for. You know, life's tough sometimes. Not more so for us than the last 2 years and the global pandemic. And you know, there's always something. The kids won't get ready for school. They couldn't find their favourite shoes. I fell over the dog. Some idiot cut me off in traffic on the way to work. I left my lunch at home. I hate my job and the boss is on my back about everything. You know how it goes. It's out of your control. Everything seems to be working against you. And then it's time to push back and so you lose it. Have you called your phone company lately to complain harshly about your service or bill? I've done it, yelling down the phone line. Truthfully, I am embarrassed, and as I should be. You feel better for a beat. It's like fairy floss though. You get a big hit of sugar and then you feel lousy and justify it. It's not your fault, Genene. We've all been through some really harsh times. And self-reflection and self-awareness, is it enough to start to move the needle on reducing casual bullying? I fear not. Please don't disregard your feelings. Take a good look at what's happening. When I actually faced my shame, I found that according to ASAP, the artificial intelligence technology company, in their report CX, the human factor, as many as 81% of people on the phones in call centres have experienced some kind of customer abuse. 81%, that's 4 out of 5 workers. Are you shaking your head? Let me tell you that when I read that statistic, I certainly was. I thought, who's doing this stuff? Well, obviously, it's ordinary people like me and you. So thinking into this casual bullying pandemic, it's not how you feel about what you say and do. It's about how what you say and do is received by the person on the receiving end of it. The incidence of casual bullying doesn't stop there. Hands up if you've commented on social media, thrown out a quick quip, shown little respect for other people's actions and opinions, what they say and do. The problem is big. So big, in fact, that Facebook brought out policies for their communities on how to handle harassment and bullying. What seems a little off to me, though, is that Facebook's terms of service don't align with anonymity. They don't allow fake names. But nor do they have validation processes for users when they're creating an account. So you can be belligerent when you are a fake, faceless, nameless person. You cannot ignore the problem of casual bullying. This change will make a difference in the world we live in, and it's a kindness to our future to respond responsibly. In 2021, Facebook came out for the first time to state that the company had removed 9.2 million pieces of content for breaking the bullying and harassment rules. They also recognised bullying and harassment content was seen 14 or 15 times per every 10,000 views on Facebook. Facebook's said to have 1.79 billion users daily. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that seems like a lot of people, teenagers, kids, exposed to casual bullying and harassment. I believe social media companies should be doing more to tackle cyberbullying on their platforms, and casual bullying is shifting from name-calling in the playground to 24/7 online trolling. And while there's greater awareness of casual bullying and the consequences of it, corporations are trying to improve company cultures and corporate social responsibility. But I question whether the good companies are doing it anyway and not fixing the bad companies. In other words, Businesses that need it don't want it, and businesses that want it don't need it. Are our intolerance and lack of respect bullying? Is casual bullying the gateway to senseless violence and hatred? Way back in 2003, the World Health Organization talked about protecting workers from stress. And after nearly 2 decades, casual bullying today remains in our society. So what have we learned? Bullied people perpetuate bullying. So please, if you see something, say something, report it, accept it's time to change, and together destabilise this norm and reduce aggressive and violent behaviours in the world today. How does our intolerance or disrespect impact not just the receiver, but others around? Your children, your family, your household, your workmates, casual contacts, people you don't even know. How does one carry that negativity through every day? Does the individual adopt it, embrace it, internalise it? Does it eat them up and destroy their health and well-being? What about you and your relationships? Is bullying causing or akin to PTSD? Does bullying lead to breakdowns of relationships at home, work, in the playground and on the street? Is casual bullying normalised in our society today? Even in relationships and in the home. Around the world, many of us have been locked in our homes during the pandemic. Homes where work and business, school and living collide. Homes where it's been like a pressure cooker, the stress, anxiety, disrespect spilling over into violence. Is casual bullying harshly speaking to your partner? What about the kids? Is verbal abuse a big deal? These behaviours are just as severe as other forms of abuse and may damage self-worth and well-being, especially for the kids. You may be setting them up for a lifetime of self-limiting beliefs. What about you and your relationships? Have things escalated in your home during the pandemic? Did it start with a bit of casual bullying, then losing respect, then verbal exchanges, controlling and coercive behaviours, to a bit of light domestic violence? When you disrespect each other, you lose respect for both yourself and the other person. It's a slippery slope. The point is, casual bullying can be anyone. It could be me, it could be you, or your brother, your sister, mother, father, aunt, uncle, or best friend. It could be any of us, or it could be all of us. It can get out of hand very quickly. And what happens when you've been stuck at home in a pandemic? It may not be you being a bully today, but what about tomorrow, or next week, or month? What about the kids in the future? They're learning those lessons, even if it's by feeling the mood of your home and internalising it. Casual bullying doesn't sound dangerous or divisive. It's just a bit of fun. Just joking, mate. It's casual. But I'm here to tell you, it's not how you feel about it, it's how the receiver, those around you, feel about it and internalise it. How it becomes part of their psyche, how they carry it and pass it on. It can lay dormant in the subconscious or cause immediate havoc. At some point in the future, it's coming out. Toxic, dark, slippery, like mercury or a snake slithering into someone else's life. Casual bullying isn't just about mental health and well-being. It permeates all areas of our lives. Is casual bullying normalised in your workplace? Being bullied has affected my work, my job, and the career choices that I've made, the income that I've generated, and ultimately my money, health, and well-being. I'd had a carefully curated plan for myself, and I'd like to recount a scenario and invite you to tell me if I was bullied. I worked locally for a reasonably large listed company with over 1,000 employees, and one day I was running a little late for a meeting. When I arrived, everyone in the room was laughing and sharing a joke. The discussion continued, and I thought it was a bit odd that some people were snickering, and after the meeting ended, about 8 or 10 people were still congregating in the room, seemingly waiting for something to happen, and I didn't know what. As I left the room, David came alongside me and asked, "Did you see what was on that chair?" And of course I said no. David told me I should go back and have a look. And when I went and checked, I was horrified. I won't tell you what it said because there would be some language and I wouldn't use it. However, the writing on that chair, how it made me feel, and the outcome of those negative feelings, I still feel a bit wobbly today, get a bit emotional talking about it. I realised at that moment, and many other moments since, that people think that this is normal, that it's okay. And when I relive that memory, I see my colleagues' smiling faces around that room in my mind's eye, laughing and joking and having singled me out. I feel isolated and alone and embarrassed. They are high-fiving each other all around. I am the butt of everyone's joke. Of course, I am oblivious in that room, in that time. I politely smiled and laughed along. Do people feel threatened or at risk and therefore avoid standing up for one another? Do you feel peer pressure to participate, to go along with the joke, even though it's not funny? Why are we not supporting each other? Has the Me Too and Speak Up culture gained some traction in the corporate world? If it has, how many generations will it take to see a change where no one person is harmed by casual bullying? David came good. He told me about it when others had not. The act of casual bullying impacted me for years, and they even sent me photos as a reminder of my shame. Those self-limiting beliefs were carried with me for years until I recently dealt with that burden of having them. I was overriding those incorrect stories carved out deep into my psyche, the stories you tell yourself over and over. I challenge you, if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Today, I would like to ask you to consider, are you a casual bully? Have you ever been one? Do you know one? And what can we do about it? She'll be right, mate, just won't cut it. It's not okay. I suspect we've all done some casual bullying, whether to the phone company, staffer or whomever. People probably won't get over it and they'll carry it with them, possibly forever. Let's stop being so casual about such vital issues. We should protect each other if the system's not protecting us, and finally be the change we want to see. Let's not be so casual about bullying. Nothing worthwhile is easy. And thinking about this is the first step to change. Questions are good because you get answers, but it can't stop there. Be courageous. Casual bullying exists, and it can be anyone. As a society, we'll continue to see people harmed if we don't stop casual bullying. We diminish the value of someone when they are bullied, not only in their mind, but in the mind of others. And casual bullying escalates and impacts not just the bully and the person being bullied, but I worry it ripples out to everyone on the planet. The economic and human cost is beyond my comprehension. The repercussions of casual bullying crisis will be falling disproportionately on young people and women and worsen existing inequalities and survive multiple generations. We can all act to stop casual bullying.